Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Empowering Teachers Worldwide. I'm Annie Altamirano, and I'm delighted to be with you today to talk about visual input and creative output. I'm going to tell you an anecdote. During a rehearsal of Debussy's La Mer, Toscanini found himself unable to describe the effect he hoped to achieve from a particular passage. And after a moment's thought, he took a silk handkerchief from his pocket and tossed it high into the air. The orchestra watched this slow, graceful descent, and Toscanini smiled with satisfaction when he saw the effect this has caused on the orchestra. So he said, "There, play it like that." So this is a very good example of what we mean by visual input. The flight of the silk handkerchief and how it can spark creative output, the way in which the orchestra is going to render the music. So output and the way we use it in the classroom has an important effect on what the learners are able to do and how they experience the learning process. When we talk about creative output in language learning, we are referring to any form of language production that goes beyond the simple repetition or mechanical practice. It's when learners use language that they know to express their own ideas, their feelings, their interpretations in unique ways. And this could range from crafting stories, dialogues, to presenting personal responses to visual stimuli, solving problems through language, anything. So let's examine the benefits in a bit more detail. So one of the first benefits is confidence. Students may develop greater self-confidence as a result of spending more time using a second language to communicate and seeing improvement in their communication skills. While they may feel that production is a natural product of language acquisition, fear can hinder many natural processes. Another benefit is creativity. Through output work, students have a chance to use words and expressions in novel and unique ways that stretch and improve their language level. Classroom activities allow learners to be who they are and who they want to be, and do what they may not be able to consider doing outside the classroom. Another benefit is increased autonomy. By practicing writing and speaking in a second language, students become accustomed to practicing a language through producing stretches of text, written or oral, and it may result in increased learner independence. Self-expression. Students can learn to put their thoughts and feelings into words through output work, helping them to articulate themselves more clearly and precisely. Remember that creative output isn't just about producing something artistic or original. It's about using the language in meaningful, personally relevant ways that engage learners' minds and emotions while developing their communication skills. When implemented thoughtfully, creative output tasks can transform language learning from a mechanical exercise into an engaging, personal journey of discovery and growth. Now, let's pick now on the other key word in creative output, creative. Creativity is not a talent like running fast. Creativity is what makes us human, but it isn't a fixed trait or a special gift. It's a fundamental aspect of human cognition and expression, and it can be developed and enhanced. Unlike physical attributes such as running speed or height, Creativity is a dynamic capability that grows through practice, encouragement, and the right environment. Now, let's explore what I call the creativity credo. Creativity credo is a set of fundamental principles that shape our understanding of creativity in education. These principles challenge common misconceptions about creativity and offer a framework for nurturing creative thinking in our language classrooms. Many teachers and students believe that creativity is a special gift possessed by a talented few. However, research and experience tell us a different story. What follows is a manifesto of sorts, one that redefines creativity as an inherent human capacity that can be developed and enhanced through purposeful practice and the right environment conditions. And this credo isn't just theoretical. It has profound implications for how we teach, how we structure our lessons, how we create opportunities for creative expression in language learning. So let's examine these core beliefs about creativity and how it can transform our approach to teaching and learning. To begin with, creativity is a birthright. We are all born with creative impulses. Although we can vary, and we do vary in talent, we can train ourselves to be more creative by understanding how creativity works, by practicing divergent thinking strategies and caring more about exploring. Sorry, creativity. Creativity is a tap. It's a way of thinking, being, and doing. That's a tap. It's a lens through which we can experience the world. Creativity may evolve in its purpose, in its appearance, but it remains a pathway to understanding and problem solving. As Steve Jobs once said, creativity is connecting the dots. It's about seeing relationships which others fail to see. These metaphorical dots are bits of knowledge and experience that we have gathered and stored over time. And creativity in education is a balance between data collection, sense-making, and associating. Also, creativity thrives on context. Fostering creativity means providing an environment conducive to creative, playful thinking and making. The environment is both physical and psychological, and trust and respect in the social setting are a must. Also, creativity craves constraints. Creativity works best with prompts, parameters, and limitations. Too much freedom is daunting and inhibiting. So we flourish with conditions, with rules and challenges. While we can develop constraints, serendipity and chance also work as inspiration. Now, the need for cognitive ability and flexibility is ever increasing in our world. We need to learn and learn and learn anew. And when we are able to remix a concept, we are now sure we have truly learned it. Thus, all learning must have some aspect of creativity. Education should inspire us to want to wonder and learn about things on our own. It should point us in the direction of tools that we can use to facilitate our lifelong learning pursuits. Creativity as a concept can be daunting, and many people feel that they are not creative when perhaps they really mean that they don't believe they are artistically talented. And actually, creativity is much, much broader. As I have just said, it's learning and learning and learning anew. Doris Lessing defined learning as that moment you suddenly understand something that you have understood all your life, but in a new way. So when you are able to remix a concept, you've truly learned it. Thus, all learning should involve some aspect of creativity. Now, let's examine the other key words: visual input. The vast majority of language learners, of language teachers, when you are able to remix a concept, you've truly learned it. Thus, all learning should involve some aspect of creativity. So let's examine the other key words: visual input. The vast majority of language teachers use images in their classroom. Of course, in today's increasingly visual world, it is difficult to imagine the language classroom without coursebook images, photographs, paintings, cartoons, picture books, etc. However, we need to ask ourselves whether the images are being approached merely as an aid or a support, or as a significant component of communicating in the foreign language, as a means of fostering students' communicative competence and creativity. In 1966, in his study, The Visual Element in Language Teaching, Pitt Corder made the distinction between talking about images, that is merely describing images, and talking with images, responding personally to these images. So, the importance of visual literacy in education is widely acknowledged, and it is generally agreed that education needs to develop learners' skills and abilities to interpret images and to communicate visually. But in order to achieve this, we need to help students develop their visual thinking strategies. Now, what are these visual thinking strategies? Visual thinking strategies is an inquiry-based teaching method created by cognitive psychologist Abigail House, sadly passed away a few years ago, and museum educator Philip Genuine. Genuine worked in the Metropolitan Museum of Art in the United States. And in this museum, they offer visitors experiences about interpreting images and discussing pictures and the like. But he wasn't very happy with how they were exploiting this. So he wanted to go a bit further, to take a step further. So he started working with House. And they came up with this inquiry-based method. Genuine defines visual thinking strategies as the use of art to teach visual literacy, thinking, and communication skills, listening and expressing oneself. Now, what's the process in education? It's very, very simple. The teacher projects an image and asks the students to look at the image for a moment quietly. Then they ask several specific but open-ended questions that come in a sequence, and students discuss the responses. But the teacher doesn't intervene. The teacher remains a facilitator. They don't add comments or correct or direct the student's attention in any way. And this can take between 15 and 20 minutes. Now, the main elements of visual thinking strategies, this practice, include art. But I would like to change it to visual input, so as not to restrict it to art, but any kind of visual input, visual stimuli. And also 3 key questions. What's going on in this picture? What do you see that makes you say that? And what more can we find? Individual students notice different things, contributing diverse observations, opinions, and information. And no attempt is made at forming a consensus. All interpretations are valid. Yes? So, based on this method and using not just works of art, in the next video, I will show you some image-based tasks which require students to interpret and analyze what they see and come up with some creative output. So, as you can see, combining visual input with creative output opens exciting possibilities for language learning. So, in the next video, as I said, I'm going to show you some activities. If you would like to learn more about engaging teaching techniques and creative approaches to language learning, make sure that you subscribe to this channel and click on the notification bell so you will be the first to know when new videos are released. So, thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video, right? Bye for now.